Hi there. Today we are going to meet Louis Carroll. I read Alice Adventures in Wonderland and its second part, Through the Looking Glass. Through the Looking Glass. Yes, Through the Looking Glass, and what Alice found there. So, if you are a regular reader, you already know about Louis Carroll, and if you are somebody who is new to this whole thing, then Louis Carroll is supposed to be a very, what do you say, classic children's author. He's supposed to be, but uh, when I read him, I felt like, you know, he's not exactly a children's writer. I have to tell you, his way of writing is very, very advanced, at least for somebody like me. If I was a child, like doing during my childhood, if I could have read this, I could not have understood nothing. I suppose this is a bit, you know, above a kid's intelligence. I suppose the way he has explained it, it looks very kiddish from the outside. A girl is sleeping, she is seeing dreams and dream world they are talking about. But the wordplay, the wit, the sarcasm, uh, the pages are full of sarcasm and it's really beautiful. Okay, it's wonderful to read, but I don't know how much a kid can understand it. You understand what I'm saying? uh, I was laughing my head off most of the time, and I was like so much into the story, but it doesn't make much sense. Okay, you cannot ask sense in this story. It's all about what is happening right now in that episode. It just goes on. It suddenly completely twists the complete narrative, and you might feel like the author is talking gibberish, but the point is uh, there is an order to this chaos. Okay, it's very calculated. It's not like he's not knowing what he's doing. He really know what he's doing, and he's just point blank. He has produced a story that is completely funny, loony, uh, doesn't make sense, but if you think about it, I don't know, after some time it might make sense, because the second part of this duology, I might say, uh, is like that, Through the Looking Glass. It is based on chess moves. He has That's what he explains in the preface. It's that a story has been completely set into a mode of a chess play. So what he's saying is, if you really look at it, the red queen, the white queen, the horses, the knights, everything will be like a playing chess. So that is really, really beautiful. I never thought that, if that preface is not there, I would never have understood that he is going through that kind of thinking. But the thing about Louis Carroll is, he is not exactly saying what he is saying. Okay, there are inner meanings, there are layers to it. That's what I have understood. Okay, maybe I am wrong. That's the beauty of it, I suppose. Fancy wordplay. Uh, Let me. There are a lot of passages that really stands out. Okay, so some passages from the book. This is from page 28. A general rule. Okay. She generally gave herself very good advice, though she very seldom followed it. Another thing, uh, but it's no use now, thought poor Alice, to pretend to be two people. Why, there is hardly enough of me left to make one respectable person. That is true. Then, page 50, explaining myself. There are just some of the passages, there are innumerable passages like this, a lot of wonderful poetry, which is bizarre, really loony, but completely fun. "What do you mean by that?" said the caterpillar sternly. "Explain yourself." "I cannot explain myself, I'm afraid, sir," said Alice, "because I am not myself, you see." "I don't see," said the caterpillar. It is as absurd as it can get. Okay, I have heard there is a book called The Naked Lunch. Recently, I was seeing a video of Mr. Patrick Rothfuss, who has written the wonderful Kingkiller Chronicles, and he mentioned the book The Naked Lunch. I've heard of it. I think that book comes in the same genre of maybe Alice, not in the exactly that literal sense, but that also I have heard that it is disjointed anecdotes, made into like they have kept near so that they look like it's a continuous story, but they are not. Alice's adventures are also like that. I have to say, they're kept in an order, but I don't think there is any order to it, or else there is an order which we cannot understand maybe, because it's really how do you say? It's really confusing, in a very good way actually. You will never feel like putting down the book. You will keep on reading it, but the point is, you will always have that disbelieving look on your face, like, because he keeps on changing the narrative, he keeps on changing the place of the story, like where the situation of the story, the time of the story, more than time, the, the the biggest confusing thing in the narrative is like, you will feel like he's telling a joke there, but he will start a joke and he will just stop it. We will laugh, but we will feel like there is more to it, but he will not give you that more. He will just give you exactly what, like, this much only I have to write here, and he will just write, and he will just stop at a place where we feel like there is something more to come, but he will not give you that more. He's irritatingly good, I have to say. In the second part, Through the Looking Glass, there is a page which says that a slow sort of country, because there is a piece where there is an episode where the Red Queen is running and Alice is running along with her, and Alice is asking her, why you are running so fast, and Red Queen is telling her that you have to be really fast in this world to stay in one place. That is really that's a true thing, I think, of she's talking about our times, I suppose. This was written in 1870s or something. Good stories are timeless, and especially this story is entirely timeless, because we don't understand time here. This story has no sense of time at all. It has unicorns in it. It has unicorns in it. It has lions in it, and his ridiculously funny Humpty Dumpty in it, and lot of characters. They just come and go. They make you laugh. They make you think, but you don't know what you're thinking. I have written that it's almost like reading a book about a quantum physics. You feel like you understood something, but you have not understood anything. That's the way this story goes. But doesn't mean that it is not fun. Okay, it's really fun. I am going to completely devour this book one by one, because his language is really beautiful. Page 225 have introduction to a leg of mutton, which is something, in the second part, almost up to the climax, near the climax, they are sitting. Red Queen is there, White Queen is there, Alice is there, and one of the queens is telling Alice to bow to the mutton leg that is in front of her. That is as ridiculous as it can get, I suppose. 225. Once. So almost near the end. Yes. You look a little shy. Let me introduce you to that leg of mutton, said the Red Queen. Alice, mutton, mutton, Alice. The leg of mutton got up in the dish and made a little bow to Alice, and she returned to the bow, not knowing whether to be frightened or amused. same like us. We don't know, sometimes we have to be frightened or amused by this book. Beautiful book. I think if you're a beginner in English literature, if you're just starting to read, Louis Carroll could be a very unsettling experience, and that is good, I suppose. So, read it, have fun. Mm, I am reading 2 3 books along with this. Mm, I want to start Dune by Frank Herbert. I might start that. I'll let you know. Thank you for watching. Bye.